Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. I got the belly for it, but I don't have the beard. What can I say? Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Monday. As always, good to have you here joining me. And it is a happy Monday because, as always, we get to talk to some great, incredible people. We're going to be talking community. We're going to be talking music. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. And I'm just grateful that you're here to enjoy it. And perhaps you're watching live. And if you are watching live, then I'd appreciate you. I don't know why the last couple of days I've just not even spitting it out right. If you are watching live, there, I just got to slow down. Please take the time to say hello in the comments below. Now, wherever you're watching from, we do broadcast throughout the world, which is we are in South Africa. We are in United Kingdom. We're in Australia. We're throughout the United States, and of course here in Canada and lots of different places as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll say hello to you if you say hello to us. There's Barry. Barry's out there saying hello. Good afternoon to you, Barry, and hello back to Deborah if she's around somewhere as well. And who else we got out there? Here I go. I need a producer. You want to, Barry? You want to be my producer? You want to run things or whatever? So that way, I just got to go like this. I try to multitask. I got a mouse over here. I got the keyboard here. I got stuff over. I got three screens. Anyway, I guess I really shouldn't make any excuses. Hope you've had a good weekend wherever you've been. Barry, did you get out to do anything over the weekend? Barry, did you get to enjoy anything out there? The snow is upon us. And I guess now it's, I know I've been listening to the radio. I always know it's officially Christmas when I listen to CHOK radio, honestly, and I hear the first Christmas song out there. And I heard it the other day. Actually, it was like, I think it was Thursday or Friday. So happy Thanksgiving to our American friends, of course, as well. And I think it was around then that I heard the first Christmas song. And CHOK is the official one for me that says, okay, it's okay to say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or however you want to say it. It's just a joyous time of year. At least I hope it is a joyous time of year for you as well. Oh, who else is out there? Oh, there, Oswald's Diner. I'm guessing that's probably Karen because I don't think Art would know how to do it. Are you going to tell him I said that? Oswald's Diner, thanks so much for being here. Hey, they're open Monday. Is it Monday through Wednesday till 6:30 or Monday through Thursday at 6:30 at night? I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But let me know in the comments. But they're opening later because, well, they've got great food and they're busy. I was in there the other day and finally had the meatloaf. Oh. That's the first time I've had meatloaf in a very long time, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not just saying that. The thing I do love about Oswald's is it's a family atmosphere, including the food, home cooked and everything. So now I'm hungry. Okay, show's over. Got to go to Oswald's. Get there before 6:30. Let us know, Oswald's, so I get it right out there. Let everybody know your new times that you got there and what days of the week. And on top of that, I ran into an old friend of mine the other day that I hadn't seen in a while too. So it seems to be like Christmas time is when you run into a bunch of people you don't normally see. I guess it's probably because people come home for Christmas and stuff. I guess especially when you're younger. I remember when I was in my 20s, right? It was like people would go away for school and stuff, and then they'd come back. So it was nice to run into an old friend I hadn't seen in a while. He says, I spent Saturday cleaning up the leaves. Glad to have that. Oh, yes. I'm glad my wife got that job done too. I'm not good in the yard at all. I confess. I don't cut the grass because I have a son that can do that. And shoveling snow is hard. My lower back doesn't like it. At least that's what I've been telling them for years, and I've been getting away with it. And I don't think my son minds doing the snow because we got one of those electrical shovels. I was thinking of buying a what do you call it? Snowblower. I almost bought a snowblower, and then I thought, the year that I buy a snowblower, there's going to be no snow, and then the year that I don't buy one, there'll be a whole bunch. So would it make more? Maybe if I go buy one and then there's no snow, is that better? I don't know. Who shovels the snow at your house, Barry? And the other thing that makes it nice and official for me being Christmas is we got out to the Lisa Aubin Christmas party. We were invited once again. This is our 4th year being there. Thank you, Lisa Aubin, for having us. And just a fantastic, amazing dinner and refreshments and entertainment. CDDC was the band again. And it's an opportunity too that I get to actually sit and chat with a lot of people that I know that are there and that I don't normally get to sit down and chat and do that with. And Lisa Aubin even herself said this is a time that she gets to sit down. So, and I know she's very appreciative of all of us were there at formerly the Holiday Inn, the Sunridge. I guess I better get that right at some point. So there we were, Jennifer and I, we were having fun in front of the Lisa Aubin Christmas party photo booth. We had a good time. And it's nice. And I got to wear my Christmas tie. I didn't wear my Christmas tie today. I guess, is this a Christmas tie? Is this okay for Christmas? It's sort of a candy cane look, right? Somebody said, why don't you wear the Santa suit? No. The Painted Cat had me do that one year. Had me in the Santa suit. And that was a few years ago. Shh, don't give anybody any ideas. Don't give Oswald any ideas and say, hey, Dave, come on down here and bring your candy canes. We'll give you some candy canes to give out or something like that, right? So there's an idea. Oswald's, I would do that for you. If you rent the Santa suit, I would come in and I would sit out and give out candy canes. And there you got the proof of it right there. Anyway, we had a good time down there at the Lisa Aubin Christmas party. I want to say thanks to her once again for having us. We look forward to it every year. And now that it's officially Christmas, I guess I can officially tell you that once again, we'll be live streaming the Santa Claus Parade, proudly put on by the Sarnia Kinsmen here in Sarnia. And it will be this Saturday, December the 7th. We'll start broadcasting about 5:45. We'll go live and we'll start talking to you. We're going to go live from the Royal LePage Key Realty building. Once again, we want to say thank you to them for supporting us and giving us a space to broadcast. And our title sponsor, Blue Water Power Group of Companies, who's been supporting us for many years now. And we really appreciate their support. And we've got some other supporters that are going to be supporting us. Other supporters that are going to be supporting us. Gee, what a great way to say something. And forward to that and getting out there and seeing all the floats in the Santa Claus Parade. And of course, the Jolly Fellow himself will be there. Yes, looking forward to him. And I don't know if you noticed last year, he's got a brand new float with I forget how many lights. Maybe we should reach out and have Santa Claus on here. What do you think? You guys want to see Santa Claus? And we'll go back to Barry. He says, funny, I have a snowblower. The first year we bought it, there was barely any snow, and I had to test it, though it was big. Yeah, right. That's just the way it is. So check that out. We'll be live. I'll be posting on Facebook. It will be live on Facebook. And if you can't catch it live, we'll be re-uploading you'll be able to see it after as well. And we'll be sending it up to YouTube and some other places as well. So I'm very grateful to the Sarnia Kinsmen Club, who works very hard to do lots in the community here, including this one, the Christmas Parade, which we're looking forward to this Saturday from the Royal LePage Key Realty building. And speaking of Christmas, we had them on here last week, some of the cast from the Nightingale Chorus, When Christmas Comes to Town. And I look forward to this every year as well. And actually, I'm really excited for this year because we didn't make it out last year. I forget why. But we're going to get to it. In fact, it's been a couple of years since we've been there. So I love Christmas. I really do love Christmas. And I don't get me wrong, I don't go crazy with presents and stuff like that. But one of the reasons I love Christmas, and if you know me, you've heard me say it before, it's the one time of year you can be nice to people and they won't accuse you of having a reason for being nice to them. You know what I mean? Why is he being nice? In July. But if I do it, he's being nice because it's Christmas. Anyway. The Nightingale Chorus in their 24th year, and Carrie Beauchamp, the lead on this, started this 24 years ago. And I can't get her in front of a camera. You know, she makes it all about all the cast and everybody else involved. And if you want to see that interview, it was last week with some of the cast, and they've got a bit of a new set coming. I wasn't even allowed to show the set. We had to, when we went there and set up, it was, you can only do this over here. So anyway, looking forward to that. Go to imperialtheater.net to get your tickets once again for the Nightingale Chorus, When Christmas Comes to Town. Starts December 11th at the Imperial Theater. And more karaoke. I'll be back at the Moose Lodge on December the 20th. It's normally the 4th Friday of the month, but because of the Christmas holiday, and we're going to be away, December 20th, 8 to midnight at the Moose Lodge, who's another great community supporter. And not just they support here on the show, but they give back into this community thousands of dollars. And we have a lot of fun there with karaoke. Even if you don't sing, just come on out. We need people to clap for those of us that do sing. And if you don't sing, they have beverages there. Might help. I don't know. And they have food there as well. And we just have a good time out there at the Moose Lodge. Always looking forward to that. This month, December the 20th, hope you'll come and join us. And they're having their New Year's Eve party as well. The Song Machine Band is going to be there. And go to Moose Lodge on Facebook to find out more and get your tickets for that. All right. Oh, and just in time, my friend Danny Coccimilio is joining me as I get ready to talk about the Sarnia Sting. Danny Coccimilio. Stay tuned, Danny, because we're going to talk about a game. Yeah. Last time, Danny Coccimilio, he always joins me for when the Sioux Greyhounds come to town. And the first time the Sioux came to town, the Sarnia Sting beat them. And then the last time Danny was there, the Sarnia Sting didn't beat them, and then they went on the road. Well, we're going to talk about that right now. More than a game, the Sarnia Sting. And here's your Sarnia Sting recap, brought to you by Oswald's Diner and our friends at Active Ears Hearing. Better hearing begins with you. Here's the close-up look. It started out against the Niagara Ice Dogs last week, and while things were tied up in the beginning, the Niagara Ice Dogs would come out to dominate that, and final 5-2. And we caught up with Brad Stobbits after this game. And notably, we will say, though, that Nolan Dillingham got his first OHL career goal. So we were excited for that. But we did, again, we caught up with Coach Brad Stobbits, and we're going to take you to that interview right now. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here post-game with assistant coach Brad Stobbits. Brad, I thought you guys had your chances in a case maybe where Niagara just kind of capitalized on theirs, and unfortunately you guys, I think maybe the turning point at the end of that second period, 5-on-3, you just couldn't get that equalizer.
Yeah, no, you have to take advantage of those. We got to create more on those when you get those opportunities in a game. And, tip our hats, they did a good job of shutting down our chances. They blocked a lot of shots. They were desperate in their zone. They collapsed in front of their net well, and even times when they collapsed down, we got the puck low to high, and our D-man was walking into a wall of three guys laying down block shots. So, they did a good job on that, but, that's no excuse. You got to find ways. We got to out-battle them in their end. And the chances we did give them were grade A's. I mean, that 3-on-1, two of the goals were just absolute backdoor tap-ins. We got to be more responsible with the puck. They came from turnovers, one at the offensive blue line and one in our own end, where we just had to make simpler decisions.
You guys haven't had any worries at all about scoring goals this year. They've kind of gone in at will. Things have maybe dried up here a little bit the last couple of weeks, just holding the sticks a little too tight, and the case where they start to go in and all of a sudden it goes the other way.
Yeah, I think it was that, and we had attributed to less production to our transition game. Guys weren't working into spots to get pucks. If they cleared a puck into the neutral zone, guys weren't getting out of the zone quick so we could reattack, and we just weren't able to create because we were slow out of our transition, and we've been having a tough time handling the puck and connecting two passes together. You can't play a fast, aggressive game like that. So I thought we were better tonight with that. I thought, we were okay to good in our transition. But it was the desperation of the game, the one-on-one battles is where our letdown was tonight.
Now, this has obviously been a very streaky team this year. The losing streak to start, a couple 5-game win streaks. Now it's 5 out of 6 you've lost. I mean, getting almost into December, do you know what this team is or what it's capable of doing yet?
I think the belief is high in the room that we're a good team and a team that could really push this and take it far. It is streaky, and that's the inconsistency in I guess, the compete that we have day in, day out. And I think we got a lot of young guys that have to realize it doesn't come easy when things are going good. Every game's just as hard as it was the night before, and we got to stay consistent with that work when we get away with it. And just talking about our transition game, it's about working in the D zone. It's about working back for pucks, working to get open. Once that's at a consistent level, I think, things will level out, and we believe that we can be a winning team.
You mentioned the young guys. I mean, a lot of young guys, the back end getting a lot of minutes now. What is the status going forward for Ashton and Kelton?
Yeah, can't quite get a timeline on him yet. It's still, Kelton's injury is pretty fresh, just waiting for things to settle down. Ashton's been starting to make some progress, but is still a ways out. So guys have been stepping up and playing those minutes. It's nice to have Colton Kammerer back in the lineup tonight, who's Colin, he's in his third year. Can lean on him a bit. But those minutes are being spread out, and we got to get moving that puck and working as a unit back there instead of individuals once the main minute guys are taken out of the picture.
One more positive note, Nolan Dillingham with his first OHL career goal. You had a chance to congratulate him on that?
Yeah, as soon as he came off, it's good to see him do that. Actually, he played a good game for us. Talk about guys picking up their minutes and doing a good job. I thought Nolan played a good, solid game. He had a lot of shots on net. It was nice that one snuck through for him. It's always good to get a goal in this league for him and get that monkey off his back before it's a big gorilla hanging on you.
All right, and there you go. Once again, Coach Brad Staubitz talking about their loss after to the Niagara Ice Dogs. And we did mention in there, of course, Nolan Dillingham getting his first OHL career goal. And then, of course, moving on, they would play the Sioux Greyhounds and would win that one huge. Danny, if you're still listening, 8-3 over the Sioux Greyhounds. And again, it's like Brad Staubitz said, once you get that monkey off your back, you get that first goal, you maybe start doing it again, because Nolan Dillingham, again, getting his second career OHL goal. So congratulations to Nolan Dillingham. And then, unfortunately, we come back to a loss against the Flint Firebirds. We've said it many times before in the past. Flint and the Sting, Flint just seems to be a thorn in their side. Although they've been able to beat them this year, it's still a little bit of a rivalry going on there as well. So we'll be back at the Sarnia Sting on the concourse. Never know who's going to join. I think Jay Peckham might be coming back to join me. He's been off for a while. As the teddy bear toss happens at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena, and the Sarnia Sting will play host to the Saginaw Spirit, looking for a win down there. And who's going to get the first goal for the Sarnia Sting so that those thousands of teddy bears get thrown in there? I'm putting my money on Sam Bitton. I think Sam Bitten's going to do it for us this year. That's your Sarnia Sting recap. Once again, brought to you by Oswald's Diner and Active Ears Hearing Center here in Sarnia. All right. Well, 'tis the season of giving as well. And although giving is needed all year round, this is a special time of year for our friends at the Inn of the Good Shepherd, and our friend, Executive Director Myles Vanni, is here to join us this week. Myles, how are you today?
Good afternoon, Dave. Very good, thanks. Very good.
Thanks for being here again.
The snow is starting to fall a little bit, so Christmas is here.
It is. We can officially say, I think we get a little nervous, like, oh, we're going to say that word or whatever, but it is a nice time of year, and I know it's an important time of year for the Inn of the Good Shepherd.
Exactly. This, as you said earlier, we need giving all year round to help the folks that are struggling and need it. But the Christmas season is our number one season, and we'll hopefully raise about 40% of all our donations in this Christmas season, both food and financial. So that makes it so important for us, and lots of opportunities in this community to be able to do that, to give and to share.
Yeah, for sure. And I always like to remind people, because you educated me a long time ago, the Inn of the Good Shepherd needs 40,000 pounds of food every month, right?
Absolutely. Kind of a staggering amount when you think of it. It's a little higher than that now. It's grown the last couple of years, but it's about 48,000 pounds now. And that's a huge amount, but that's helping 1,850 people every month. Unfortunately, 700 of those are children that rely on food at some point in the month from the food bank.
Yeah. Well, and let's talk about that number that's gone up, because I know you and I've had the conversation before. It's like, well, why is that happening? And a lot of the times the Inn of the Good Shepherd is being used by maybe people you just might not think would be using that, right?
Absolutely. I think there's always that myth out there that, well, if you're using the food bank, well, you're just too lazy to get a job. But the reality is the vast majority of people we're helping are working, or they've already worked a lifetime and they're on a retirement pension, or they physically can't work and they're on a disability pension. So that's significantly who it is. And we've seen, as Canada has transitioned over the last few years, where the majority of people now are working in Canada aren't working that dream where you've got a full-time, well-paying job with benefits. The majority of Canadians now are working part-time, trying to hold down 2 or 3 part-time jobs and struggling with, inconsistent hours. Maybe this month or this week they get 10 hours and next week it's 20 and then they're back down again. So that makes it very difficult for a family to budget and to manage their finances to pay all those bills.
Yeah. And I think it's important to let people know too that, while there's some people that are using it, it's often temporary for some families as well, because life does change, things go up and down. And, you've got mom and dad working, and maybe you've got mom and dad working and one of them a part-time job. And there's just still so many hours in the week. Right. And somebody can get exhausted.
And one of the things that's really heartening for us is that pretty often we'll get somebody come to our reception window and they want to make a donation. Maybe they've got a bag of food or a financial donation. And they'll just kind of quietly say as they hand it over, it's like, I used your services a couple of years ago and I'm back on my feet and I just want to make sure you're there for others that have a time of struggle. So that tells us there's that consciousness of, I need the services and the supports. I'll use it when I need it. But then when I'm back on my feet, I want to help and make sure others are looked after as well.
Yeah. Well, that really shows, aside from the kindness factor, that what the Inn of the Good Shepherd is doing in our community is really appreciated. Yeah. And it's been there. It's been around since 1981.
Yeah. 30. Well, like a lot of food banks, we were set up in the early 80s when there was a recession going on, Reaganomics, and there was a lot of layoffs and closures in the valley. And the thought was, well, we'll, when things get better, we won't need food banks. But unfortunately, as society has changed, a lot of our families now that need help, it used to be that you would get help from a family member in the community. Everybody lived together and grew up in the community they were born in. But now people have moved all over the country. So a lot of cases, there isn't immediate family in the home or in the town that you're living in because, parents have moved to Calgary and, the brothers have moved somewhere else. So
Judy, please call 342. Judy.
Sorry.
That's all right.
When there is something happened in the family, their family members aren't right there to look after them. So it relies more on the community to do that. So things like that, because of the economic situation and the job demographics, it's kind of enshrined food banks like the Inn is a part of the community fabric now.
Yeah. And let's talk about the services as well, because I think most people, especially this time of year, I think the first thing that comes to the mind when you say the Inn of the Good Shepherd, the word food jumps right out at them. But there's a lot more going on there, from income tax alone is a huge service, right?
Well, and that's a really good point because, we helped over 3,000 people so far this year do their income taxes, get their taxes done. And the United Way has come on board to help support that program. But one of the things that we really like with the income tax, it's a preventative program. We did a survey of people using that particular program this spring, and fully a third of the people, that's the only contact they have with the Inn. It's the only support or service they get from the Inn is getting their income taxes done, which means because we're able to do their taxes, that senior is now getting their guaranteed income supplement, or that parent's getting the child tax benefit. And with that regular benefit coming in now, they don't need to use our services, our food bank or other community services. So it really does give them that opportunity to be independent and self-reliant rather than relying on the community. So that's a great program we love because it helps people be independent.
Yeah, I guess you could call that preventative.
Absolutely. Spending a few minutes with somebody helping them do their taxes means that they don't have to be coming back for other services.
Yeah. And it is important because, depending on your situation, of course, but that kind of thing I don't know about you, but it can be confusing to understand. And have you ever tried to do it yourself?
Yeah. And who has the time or the confusion with the forms and the numbers and all that sort of stuff. And it's very difficult. They don't have access to a computer to e-file it, that sort of thing. So a little bit of, and we've got a great team of volunteers that help in that program, but it has a huge impact for people. So
Yeah.
there's lots of those kinds of things. We have all our Christmas programs right now. We do an adopt a family. So for those families that, they just know they're not going to get much of a opportunity to have Christmas for their kids, lots of pressure on parents this season to provide. And if they're not getting many hours at work, it's very difficult. So we have this adopt a family program set up so that we can grant some kids their wishes. 300 households last year we helped to make sure those children get a Christmas morning.
And to add to that point, the stress of it all, I guess, right? I mean, and being in a financial position perhaps where you don't want to let the kids down, you don't want to let your wife down, vice versa, all that stuff,
or you miss making a rent payment because you want to get stuff for your kids,
right?
And then you're in a bind that way. So.
Yeah. And does that what about, let's talk mental health for just a moment, because that kind of stress and stuff can participate or what am I trying to say? Contribute to somebody's mental health. Is there support for that as well?
Yeah. So, and that's where we're conscious about some of the things we do. It's helping provide a service, those backpacks for back to school time or winter coats and that. But the relief it takes off of a household, and particularly, as you mentioned, from a mental health point of view, having that stress really deteriorates your health. And that's one of the reasons where we've seen our food amounts go up each month, is that we're trying to focus on healthier packages as well, so we can get fresh, healthy food out to people. And that's better for their health, because the stress of living day to day, trying to figure out how you're going to pay bills and still provide, deteriorates that health. So we like to look at programs that we can do that can help from a health and a mental health point of view. And our mobile market and our snack pack programs really fill in those areas.
Well, you read my mind. I was going to say, it's not just canned food and just here you go, have soup every day. There's some health that has to go on with all of this. And the food market, I know, is recently, I guess last few years, new program, or the mobile market, right? Yeah. And that's had a positive effect in the community as well. Yeah. And do you see with that, though, I mean, a lot of times, people come to you at the end of the Good Shepherd facility, but the mobile market going out into the community, I would think, has an effect as well, to say, you're coming to me, or you're coming to our neighborhood, I guess. Exactly,
because transportation is a real challenge for a lot of people we're helping. They haven't got a vehicle, maybe transit doesn't go where they need to be or such. So with the mobile market, we're at 14 locations throughout Sarnia and throughout the county every week for July through to the end of October. So we're able to get that healthy stuff to everybody every week. And along with that, we piggyback in our snack pack program is delivered through the mobile market, and our the school backpacks, we distribute some of those through the mobile market. So it's a really good venue to get the help to where it's needed. Yeah, and I like how you mentioned not just Sarnia, but the county is supported by the end of the Good Shepherd as well. Almost all of our programs impact not just the Sarnia community, but throughout the county, whether it's rent, utility, or even the Christmas programs.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit more about Christmas, because 'tis the season for cash calendars as well, right? And this is, again, an important, a significant fundraiser for the end of the Good Shepherd.
It is. It's pretty significant for us. We'll raise about $30,000 through the cash. If we sell them, we're really hoping we sell out. But so it's a significant impact for our programs. It's a bit of a fun thing to do, and it really helps make Christmas a little bit easier for folks. We're hoping to take some of the stress off of your shopping, because it's a great little gift. Makes for $10 you get a lot of chances to win. It's a great little stocking stuffer to give out. You got the office Christmas pool, and you got to get a gift for somebody. And what are you going to get? Or for that teacher, they don't need another mug. The cash calendar is a great way to give a little gift. It's not expensive. Gives the recipient a chance to maybe win something, but also has a good positive impact in helping.
Well, I'll tell you about the positive impact, because I think it was 2 years ago when I got my first, the great stocking stuffers, and I bought a bunch, and of course I bought one for my wife. And now, like, I'm a repeat customer because, I have to go. She has to go to her stocking, and it has to be there now, or Santa Claus is in big trouble.
And, we've performed a little Christmas magic with the calendar this year. Because we draw every day in January. So there's it's like $7,000 in prizes. Plus, we've actually been able to make 32 prizes. We've added a day into the month.
Okay.
So there's going to be a special draw if you take your ticket stub down to Lambton Mall and put it in a little barrel at the help desk there. We'll be doing an extra draw for a $500 Lambton Mall gift card, kind of a bonus draw. So there's actually 32 chances to win from our January cash calendar.
What a great idea. And I know Lambton Mall, let's give a shout out to them because they've been huge supporters of the Inn of the Good Shepherd and a lot of the programs, including down to the construction that will come up in the new year as well, right?
That's right. Yeah. The mall is a great support of ours, plus a lot of different programs and agencies that do an awful lot in our community. So it's great that they have supported the cash calendar, and there's a little extra prize for folks. So we start January 1st. You want to get that phone call from me on New Year's Day because it starts with $1,000 prize.
You do all are you the guy that makes the call?
I make the calls it's so much fun to call somebody and say, congratulations, you're the lucky winner. It's a fun part of the job.
You're kind of like Santa Claus after Christmas is over.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, Myles, thanks. I know you're really busy with a lot of stuff, so I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. And we're going to keep telling people about the cash calendars. Is there anything else you want to add in before I let you go?
Just thanks to you, Dave, for helping tell our story and telling all the stories in the community. You do a great job of putting the word out.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate that. I'll buy 2 cash calendars now. Myles Vanni, once again, thanks for being here.
Thanks.
All right. Moving on, our friend Myles Vanni, from the executive director from the Inn of the Good Shepherd, joining us there to talk about the cash calendars, a very important part of our community, the Inn of the Good Shepherd is. And as we talked about, of course, we know it's always seems to be about food, but they have so many other programs going on. And this is certainly a time of year where we can help relieve some of that stress for those in our community who need some help. And the cash calendar is a great way for you to do that. They're only $10, and you can go online to the Sarnia.ca to get more information, or just look them up on Facebook. They're there as well, of course. All right, let's switch gears a little bit now. We're going to get into some music. We've got a lot of music to talk about, but first we're going to take you out to, you've heard me talking about SADfest. SADfest? Why would you want to be sad? Well, okay, let's get the musicians in here right now to tell us all about it. They're going to be a part of SADfest. Let's welcome the Stone Kickers. Hey, gentlemen.
Hey, how's it going, Dave? Nice.
Not too bad. Thanks for joining me here today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. First of all, I want to ask you about the name, the Stone Kickers. I've always got to know where the name comes from.
Oh, the name, we fought on names for a while, and we kind of just, it came to us one night. We were just out back having a few beers around a fire, and it just came to us.
I think you mentioned today.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Stone Kickers? And
it just popped into the head, and it sounded good. We liked it, but we went with it.
We were sick of the other stuff that we were trying to decide on.
Well, it's good when everybody can agree on something, too. For those who are just tuning in or watching, the Stone Kickers are going to be a part of SADfest coming up on December the 7th. Our mutual friend Chris and friends have decided to put this together. But just introduce yourselves to everybody so they know who you are.
All right, I'm Joe Bessette. I'm the singer and guitar player. This is Eddie Rousseau. He's our drummer. Our other 2 members are at work right now, so they couldn't make it. But yeah, that's it.
And you guys are from Sarnia?
Yeah, we're from Sarnia. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And how did the Stone Kickers come to be about?
I'll let you take this one, Ed.
Well, we had another band before that. Our bass player Joe and I, and I guess we called ourselves Tiny Town. We had a couple small, what do you call them? Open mic shows around town.
Okay.
And then I came here one night, and he had the lead player was here, and we all just kind of came down here into the jam room and started playing, and we pretty much decided right there. that we were going to start a band, and
Yeah, we meshed together well.
yeah, it only took a night or two. We started a band.
Okay, so it's always nice when you get together with the right people and things just click and gel, and you just go, you can just feel it, right? And you just sense it. And go, we're hanging around the right people.
Yeah.
Dynamics.
Everything's comfortable. It's good.
Yeah.
We all like the same kind of music, so
yeah.
So talk about the music. You guys are you're a cover band? You do any of your own stuff too, or are you just strictly doing
we don't
cover?
have any of our own originals. We pretty much we're looking to be like an exciting bar band that everybody knows the songs, can sing to, and get dancing and just have a good time.
Looking forward to all the playlists that we have.
Yeah. So can you give us some insight on the playlist? What you're playing for us?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tom Petty, Neil Young,
okay.
Vaughn, Johnny Cash, wide country song, the artists that we have a lot of around 40 different songs, 30, 40 different songs.
Mostly classic rock, country,
yeah,
stuff that gets people dancing.
Yeah, classic rock. You know, some of that classic rock has been around a really long time. They were calling it classic rock when I was in my 20s. So I don't know, like it might be medieval rock by now, but I know what you're talking about.
It gets everybody going, so that's what counts, right?
Yeah. Now you're part of SADfest, which is coming up. And how did that come to be for you guys? How'd you get involved with that?
Well, we do a lot of open mics with Beer Store Money, and we've done a couple shows, like not open mics, but actual shows with them as well. And then they started talking about it, and we're definitely down for the cause and looking to give people a good show. So it was kind of like, yeah, we're definitely doing it.
He was kind enough to fit us in, so we're definitely excited to play.
Yeah. It seems like a really there's a real social thing going on here too with these. I mean, there's 6 bands coming together to make this SADfest work, and they call it SADfest. The first time I heard it, I was like, "Whoa, what's that all about?" But seasonal depression, right? Trying to get people out, and the weather really does affect people, and you know, the fact that you guys are coming together and a portion of the proceeds is going to be donated to mental health initiatives as well. That's got to make you feel pretty good being a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. We all kind of feel some of the depressions and time. So, yeah, we know how it is, and just looking to get people smiling and dancing and feeling better. Whatever we can do, right?
Yeah.
Right on. Now, have you been playing locally in bars around Sarnia, or have you stepped out of town, or what's your play scene look like?
We normally play in Sarnia. I've played in Vancouver. I mean, I don't know where everybody else has played on their own or whatnot, but yeah, we usually play in Sarnia.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a gig in London, but we got canceled, so we didn't go there. But yeah.
Right. Okay.
We're willing to travel for shows for sure.
Yeah. Right. So now all of you in the band are this is like a part-time gig for you though?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We take it pretty serious. We like to practice 4 or 5 times a week.
But we all have jobs.
We have day jobs, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just having a good time. Maybe a little extra. Well, we can't take that name because Beer Store Money already took it, but I get the idea behind it, right? So what? How are you finding the music scene in Sarnia? Let's kind of switch gears on this for a minute. Like, are you finding people are still really appreciative of guys like cover bands like yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. We always have great turnouts at the shows. Like the bar is usually pretty super nice, and
gain new fans every time we go to a show. They're always pushing us, and we're not playing, and we miss us. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's cool. So we're looking.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Yeah, there is lots of music, and there's definitely lots of people that love live music.
Lots of musicians out there.
Lots of people to play with.
Yeah. And you find I mean, obviously, the thing I notice about SADfest as well, and we've seen, I don't know if you know Harold Collins, he's put on Sarnia Indie Nights, and there really seems to be, it seemed like it faded for a little while, but it seems to be that musical community really supporting each other in Sarnia Lambton.
Yeah, there's a lot of good bands coming out and around now. When we first started, we didn't really do too much. I mean, it was just actually the two of us at the very beginning. So get out and shows, you meet all the other musicians, really a lot of them, and they're really nice people, and everybody has fun, so it makes it all worth it.
A lot of them are willing to have us along, so that helps to become a big family at some point.
Yeah, well, I think it's great to see, and there's so much talent around this area that it's nice to see it continue on, and things like SADfest are bringing 6 bands together in one night. So thanks to you guys for being a part of it, and I appreciate you taking the time to join me here today.
Hey, thanks for having
Dave.
us.
Right on. I'll be there. I got the Santa Claus parade, but I'm planning on coming down after that to see some good rock and roll music going on down there.
Right on. We'll be going on around 11 or 11:30 around there. So yeah, hopefully you make it out and see us.
I'll be there to see you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right, there you go. The Stone Kickers joining us here. They're going to be a part of SADfest. Once again, we've been talking about now. I've been talking about this for a few weeks, and we've had a couple of the bands, including Beer Store Money, was here to join us as well. And somebody said, "Why are you talking about it every week?" See, I just said, I just think it's really important. And when I see people take the time to put their own effort into something and collaborate with somebody like the Moose Lodge, they're supporting each other's. To make something happen, I just think it's great, and especially when there's a whole bunch of folks involved. Why not talk about it and get out there? Get your tickets in advance. You can get them down at Cheeky Monkey or at the Moose Lodge, or from any of the band members for $10 in advance, $15 at the door. Supporting the bands, but portions also going to mental health initiatives here in Sarnia Lambton, and grateful to the Stone Kickers, and a shout out to my friend Chris, who's been kind of the lead on putting all this together. So thanks for being here today. All right, well, now we're going to continue on to talk more music, but we're going to really switch gears in another direction here. Let's we said classic, but we're going to go classical now, and someone I haven't seen in a long time, but I'm happy to have here today, Colin Graf. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome, Dave. Good to see you.
How have you been?
I'm good, thanks. Thank you for the invitation to be on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've sort of tried this over a couple of years, and then we've bumped into each other and said, "Oh, we got to do that." And this just popped up, and now let's talk about you. You're a classical guitar player.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting. You just had a pair of guys on there with a band who like to talk a lot about classic rock, and I know that I've had the experience when I say I play classic guitar, and people say, "Hey, is that like classic rock? Is that like Led Zeppelin?" And I say, "Well, no, not exactly, but I do have a version of Stairway to Heaven for acoustic guitar that I played." But
okay.
But no, when sometimes people say classical, some people just say classic guitar. It's music. It's played on nylon string guitar, and it's generally, you see a fellow who looks, or a lady who looks in a slightly different position than most guitarists. You'll often see the left foot up on a stool and straight back chair kind of thing, and like that, and so it's often you find the musicians are playing in a fixed position like that because it just creates stability and it creates sort of predictability, and you know what you're doing with the instrument.
Yeah. How long have you been I've known you a few years, but how long have you been playing classical guitar now?
Well, I started as a kid, and eventually I got to a point where I didn't have anyone in Sarnia who was a teacher. I ended up going to London for lessons there, and from a good number of years, I pursued a career in family. I didn't play very much, and I hadn't made a career out of it. And then something over 10, probably closer to 20 years ago, I came back to it, and it's just been something I enjoy very much, is the practice time and the playing for people.
Yeah, I think it was probably about a year ago. I think it was I want to say Cheeky Monkey that I saw you play at. Mm-hmm. It was quite some time, and I just and I don't play guitar. I tried to learn, 30 years ago, and then I don't know. I just wanted to go out and party more or something, so I didn't. But I did. I really had an appreciation for anybody who plays guitar or any instrument. But then the classical guitar, and I've seen some amazing performances from different people. It's just so precise to play. That's got to have so much focus going on.
It does. It does. It's certainly not something that happens overnight. And I'm not a professional, and so it's work for me. Nothing in the guitar has ever come super easily to me. So I practice a lot, and I try and create a mood. I try and create good music, well played. And it's not always music that people would say, well, that's classical music. It's music from 100, 200, 300 years ago by composers with European names. Some of my favorite music I like to play is for instance, music. It's for acoustic guitar mostly, by musicians who are some from the English prog rock tradition. The two Steves are two of my favorites. Steve Howe, who was guitarist with Yes at Asia, and Steve Hackett, who was a guitarist with Asia. I'm sorry, with Genesis, and they've both had long careers as solo musicians as well. So they figure quite prominently in what I do. I also like to create something of a seasonal program for this time of year as well. I'll be doing that some of that at the Lawrence House this coming Friday for First Friday.
Yeah. So, what are you going to take? Like Silent Night going to be in there and those type of things?
Yeah, it will be. It will be. And sometimes, you find that even if it's not a particularly new arrangement, but if you take a familiar tune and put it with a different kind of instrumentation, like on guitar, it does take on something of a different character or a different personality. But I do have a few things that are in different arrangements. I have one medley of a few that I've sort of put some different Christmas melodies together in a new kind of way. I am doing some pieces from the Nutcracker Ballet.
Oh wow!
And some straight Christmas carols that are more familiar as well. Yeah.
Well, I think it'll be entertaining and to come and watch you. You mentioned the Nutcracker. I remember going and seeing that in Toronto. I think I was like 11 years old. And it's just one of those sounds and just certain pieces of music they just stick with you. You never forget, right? Mm-hmm. And you're a journalist as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I've been teaching for a good many years. I teach elementary school. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
so that journalist side of you is this. That's an expression. Writing is a way to express. So would you call this like an alternate way of you expressing yourself besides being a journalist?
Oh yeah, this is the creative, emotive, kind of side to a person, I guess. Yeah. It I have a history in music, family history in music, and it's certainly a big part of who I am as a person. Yeah.
Yeah. And do you teach music in the elementary system as well? Or is this a part of what you get to teach?
I don't teach guitar in school. I don't teach guitar. No, we do have I do have a few music classes where I'm teaching. Yes.
Yeah. That's great. And I always got to ask this question of someone who plays the guitar. How many guitars do you have?
Very few.
Okay.
Very few. I am not a guitar collector.
No.
Though my wife says I definitely have the collecting gene, I do not have the guitar collection. No, not really. No.
So do you have just one, or do you have two? Or
I really only have two guitars really right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'd love to add to that, but
right. Well, you maybe when you retire, maybe you're right.
Maybe if I don't retire.
Yeah, there you go. What kind of guitar are we looking at here in this picture that we're showing off?
That's my regular classical. It's a standard Yamaha off the shelf model. It's not a particularly fancy or elaborate instrument, but it's a nice solid instrument. It's been with me for a lot of years, and she and I get along pretty well.
There you go. Now the Lawrence House again. You're going to be playing there this first Friday in December. This Friday coming up.
Yeah.
And that's going to start at 7:00, right?
Yeah.
And is there a cost for people to come in, or are you
no? It's a casual thing. It's not really a concert. I'm playing upstairs. There's an authors event going on upstairs, and there are also there's the art exhibits are downstairs. And I imagine there may be some refreshments. I'm not 100% certain what's going on. But I'll be playing in one of the rooms upstairs, and there will be seating. So people are welcome to come and have a seat for a little while. No need to, you don't have to stay for intermission. It's not a formal concert,
Right.
you know. Yeah.
And do you take requests?
As I said, you know, I have a few Christmas items. I don't have, you know, just about every Christmas piece of music under my belt. So I'm not sure really if I'm going to be taking a lot of requests, but I do have some of my other music I'll be playing as well, though. So
right, fantastic.
Yeah.
And our friend Kelly is out there. I think I already know the answer, but he wants to know: will he be playing at the 6th annual Rock and Roll Christmas?
No, I haven't been invited, but I am available for bookings for Christmas events or Christmas parties or you know things that are going on. So I do have some availability if anyone's interested.
Yeah, and they can just go to we've got your Facebook page up there on the screen. Is that the best way to reach you?
It's a good way to reach me for sure. Through the Facebook page, through Facebook Messenger on there. Those are probably the best ways to reach me right now. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping I get
I was just going to add that on my page, I do have some links to some audio recordings of some.
Oh,
things.
yeah. I was listening to some. You're on SoundCloud.
Yeah. And it's linked in through the Facebook page there.
Yeah. I was listening and I was like, wow, I just, I kind of closed my eyes and try to imagine even doing that, let alone actually pulling it off. But,
just don't tell me you closed your eyes and went to sleep. That's all.
No, I did not. No. I spent, actually, I was listening for, I was on there for a good half hour, 40 minutes, listening to all the different ones, some from a few years ago to recently. And it was, I had them playing in the background while I was doing some work here in the studio. It was very, very soothing. So, and you're certainly very talented at it.
Thank you very much.
I commend you for that. And Colin, thanks so much for joining me here today. I'm glad that we finally were able to get you here on the show.
You're most welcome, Dave. Thank you for the invitation.
And I look forward to trying. I hope I can get down there on Friday to see you perform.
Well, that'd be great. And I hope lots of others viewers can join us too. Thank you very much.
Colin Graf, thanks very much for joining. And you can join him down at Colin Graf, when I say him, down at the Lawrence House coming up this first Friday. And that will begin at 7:00. It's free to go down and check it out. And if you haven't been to the Lawrence House in a long time, a great opportunity to see what else, all the great art. And it's a cultural spot for sure. And I think we should get more people from the Lawrence House on here to join us. And right now, Colin Graf going to be down there again, first Friday at the Lawrence House. And we're really grateful for him to spend time with us here today. All right. Well, just before we go, we want to say a few thank yous. We've got to say thank you to the supporters, right? AG Event Graphics for banners, car wraps, anything to do with signage. You can get a hold of AG Event Graphics and visit them online at askguy.ca. They've been supporting us for 8 years here on the show. Very grateful for that. And our friends at Joe's Discount Tire. It's that time. If you haven't got the winter tires on yet, go see them. They're just down at the end of Indian Road there, just before the overpass, right? Heading into Plank Road. Joe's Discount Tire, thanks for your support. And, of course, bringing you the Sarnia Sting recap, our friends at Oswald's Diner, now open till certain days of the week. I don't want to say exactly when, but certain days of the week open till 6:30 now. Thanks to Oswald's Diner for their support. And Active Ears Hearing Centers, better hearing begins with you. Very grateful for that. And I always got to double check one more just to make sure. Okay. Also, if you can't watch or you don't want to watch, but you'd rather listen, I say that every week. But, anywhere you can find podcasts, you can listen to me. Put me on your wristband. I guess you can put me on a watch now, right? Or ear pods or AirPods. Anyway, if you want to listen to me, take me to work, take me on the road. Anywhere podcasts are found is pretty much where you're going to find me. So thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to all of my guests. Of course, we want to say thanks to Myles Vanni from the Inn of the Good Shepherd. Their cash calendars now on sale. We'll be posting all the links to everybody we just talked to up after the show as well. And of course, the Stone Kickers are going to be a part of SADfest coming up this Saturday, December the 7th. And don't forget the Santa Claus Parade is going to be available as well. I'm going to be doing the parade and then wrapping up, and then I'm going to be heading down to the Moose Lodge to go see them. And then on First Friday, of course, we just talked to Colin Graf, classical guitarist. Looking forward to that as well. Thanks to all of you for watching. That's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I will see you next time right here on the show. Bye-bye for now.